Hey, Tara Cherie here. It's really good to be here with you. And if you're joining us for the first time, I just want to welcome you. So, welcome. Um, I'm joining you here from my home office downstairs in my home. So, it's really great to connect with you. If you're returning, it's really good to have you. And I just wanted to apologize about running a little bit late today. I had some matters I had to take care of, and I'll tell you, when you become a mom and you transition, especially, I thought having child number two to number three would make things a lot easier, but actually, it's a lot harder than what I ever thought that it would be. And so it seems like, especially when you have like two under the age of three, when you're transitioning, and it seems like that other child wants to be fed or needs something at the exact time as the other. And so I had quite a jump between my first and my second because there was 5 years. And then this time around, there's about 2 years difference, right? And a little under three. So it is quite interesting. So if I do tend to ever run late for Facebook Lives, just know it's probably because I'm being tied up as a mom and I've got something going on, but I'm going to do my best to always make sure I adhere to around that 12:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll do my best to let you know if that does change. But if I ever run behind, I'm having either difficulty trying to get one of them down or finish feeding or what have you. So not wanting to justify it, but just wanting you to know why that might be. So just give me a little bit of grace, but I promise the topics will still be really awesome and really great. And if you can't join us live, I definitely encourage you to catch the replay. So speaking of which, I really want to speak to those moms today that are transitioning, that really want to work from home, really want to do something else. And I'm here to tell you that it's completely possible, even while breastfeeding, even while pumping, or whatever that looks like, you're taking care of multiple children. It's absolutely possible. Now, is it going to be a little bit challenging? Yes. But what I encourage you to do first, if you're looking to bring in some additional income, let's say like you want to help, I'm sorry, the sun is really bright today. I'm going to try to change my angling here just a little bit. The sun decided to shine right through my office area here, so that's great, but now I'm having trouble with the lighting. So anyway, what I wanted to say was, so if you are, if you're looking to add and contribute to your spouse or what have you, or something else is actually going on, and you have some drive and ambition, some goals that you want to achieve, that's awesome, and I really want to speak to you and encourage you. But the biggest thing that I encourage you with first is making sure that you find that rhythm in your home. I'm just now finding that as of this week. We're starting to settle back into a little bit more of a routine that's a little bit more, not always predictable, but it's better. So I'm able to kind of find what works. So make sure you look to what works, that you're taking care of your children first, because they are your first ministry. You should be taking care of their needs and their wants and their desires. You know, you don't want to be just meeting basic needs. You really want to take that time to connect with your children. So don't feel bad about doing that. Don't feel bad that you're not contributing, or maybe that you're not giving in the way that you're really desiring to. Learn what that rhythm looks like first, and then you can build off of that. So when their needs and things are met, you know, one thing that I've been doing that's been working for me, because I always am wondering, okay, how am I going to find the balance between doing something in the home or business wise, or how am I going to find time to connect with the kids, and I still got household stuff that also needs to be done and meals that need to be made. So what I've started doing, just a couple of tips to kind of help you out, especially if you're looking to create that space so you can go after what you want in your business, or in your job from home and that kind of thing, or looking to make a little bit of extra cash, or whatever that looks like. Definitely meal planning. So I encourage, you know, taking one day a week. It doesn't have to be the weekend, but that's when I choose to do it. I really like doing it when my husband's home, even though I want more time with him. I try to pick meals that are still, I like cooking fresh personally, so I try to pick meals that I can still make fresh, that I can still do, that are easy, quick, that are, I'd say really realistically 30 minutes or less, that make a larger amount, and then that way I can stick them in the freezer, or I can stick them in the fridge. If I particularly use meat, which I know some of you are vegetarian, but or maybe you have other sources or ways that you eat, and that's fine. If you are somebody that uses meat in a lot of your dishes, I always try to prepare my meats ahead of time. So even on a separate day, so maybe one day's meat, one day's meal planning and cooking meals. And then that way, and I choose when I go to the grocery store when I'm running other errands, so I'm not constantly running around. I just pick one day and I get those things done. And then that frees up some of my time during the week, so I'm not leaving my home 2, 3, and 4 times, let's say. So that's one way to kind of free up some time. The other thing is, what I really like doing is starting my day with something that is inspiring, like a devotion or something that I can wrap my mind around that's going to allow it to be really positive. And so I start my day that way. So whatever that is for you, for me, I like plugging into spiritual content, let's say. Okay, so one of my favorites, I like Joyce Meyer, but I have some books and things too that I'm studying as well. So if I can't get to my reading that morning, I at least start it with prayer, and then I start it by feeding the baby. I actually take time to nurse, and it's really great because it's that time and that connection together. So usually I'll pump first or second. Sometimes it kind of alternates. I still produce a lot of milk, so for me abundance isn't an issue. I know some people are like nurse first and then pump, so whatever works for you. So either way, I'll do that, and then I'll take care of the baby, or whichever way it works. And then I use that time to connect with her, and then we'll watch that spiritual content if I can't get into the reading. We always start it with prayer, and then we'll watch or read something, whatever that looks like, right? So I can get my mind in the right place for the day. I start with the Lord as my foundation. So I think that that's really important. Okay. So I'll do that even before I meal plan, even before I'll clean the house or do anything business wise. Okay. So I build a foundation first, and then I build off of that. A lot of times it's easier when the kids are still down in the morning for me to go ahead and do things like dishes or laundry. I usually don't like dishes in my sink at night, and it's taken me a long time to get there to where it's okay to have dishes in the sink, but I'll take that time in the mornings usually to do those few things. I don't pick a lot of chores to do, but I may pick a couple of chores, maybe a room in the house that needs to really be cleaned up, and I'll work on that. And then that'll be that for the day. So I feel like I achieved something in my house, that I have some sort of order. For me, that eases anxiety, that eases just the way that I feel about myself and feel about my day, right? And I make sure I take care of my needs while my children are still down. So that usually is, I'll put the baby back down, and then it'll be breakfast for me. And then, maybe my vitamins and things like that. I am really big into nutrition, as you guys know. And so I take care of those needs too, right? And then I do the kid thing, and I get everybody ready and out the door. Okay, so for me, what is the best time to actually get some things accomplished? So now I've gotten my spiritual time accomplished, or my personal devotion time accomplished. I've gotten an idea when I'm going to be meal planning, doing that. So I'm just allocating my time. So you see a pattern. What I'm doing is I'm telling my time where it actually needs to go throughout the day, which is really important, because if not, you'll talk about the things that you need to accomplish, but you may or may not actually get those things done, right? So you need to really be careful and cognizant about your day and how you go about that and get things done, right? So the next thing is making sure that that you get that time in. I like my 2, almost 3-year-old is in school in the mornings, right? So I use that time to get some work done when the baby's still sleeping. But if I don't get that done when my 2 or 3-year-old gets home, right? Because sometimes the baby might be needy for some things, and I might have to take some extra time out. And plus, I want to work on their development too, right? I want to spend time with my children, so I do take that time out because I want them to feel loved and validated. So I try to find space in each of my days where I can connect with them one-on-one for even 10, 15, 20 minutes. So make sure that you're doing that as well. Okay, and then same thing with spouse or significant other or partner or whatever that looks like for you. And then in addition to that, that frees me up around nap time. So I make sure to get the lunch when my toddler gets home from school, and then I lay them down. I make sure they're both fed. And then what I do is I set that extra time aside. So I know safely I have maybe 3 hours. So if there's paperwork that needs to be done, if there's something on the computer that I need to catch up on, or there's something I need to work on, or there's somebody that I'm needing to connect with, I use that time to be able to do that. Because it's important that when my children are awake and alert, that I'm present for them and that I'm able to connect with them and have that time. Even though I really enjoy connecting and serving others, I also have learned and accepted that it is okay if I don't get to everything that's on my list. Sometimes I just pick 2 or 3 things that are in the top priority in my list and I work on those things, whether I get them done or not. But what I do, rather than just leaving it completely unfinished, I'll schedule time to go back and work on those things, right? So everything has a schedule. And before I wrap up with whatever my tasks are and go back and spend time with my children or picking children up or beginning the routines of dinner and things of that nature, I'll write myself reminders of what I need to do the next day or the following day, or in my weekly, monthly planner. I have a planner that I use, so I continue to tell time where it needs to go. So all of my business matters, all of my personal matters, all of my work matters, even, I know it sounds silly, but even I try to connect and plan having a coffee date with a friend, or, even connecting on the phone with a friend. I write those things in so I remember that, hey, at this time I'm connecting with this person, so that way I know that I'm going to be in the zone and focused one-on-one with that person, because that quality time and that relationship really counts and matters. So at the end of the day, I safely have allocated, by sharing a little bit just about my schedule as mom and being able to free time up to work, I've safely established at least a 2 to 3 hour window to be able to get those things done. And yes, does it take some discipline and some focus? It absolutely does, but you can absolutely do it. You can work from home. You can have opportunities and windows open up for you. I realize that not everybody is as gifted with time management or organization, but you get good at what you practice, right? So you want to develop healthy, solid habits to your day, so that way you're not exhausted at 10, 11 o'clock at night wondering how you're going to get the dishes done, or how you're going to connect with your spouse, or feeling guilty because instead of connecting with your child and going over the homework, or being able to play a game, or practicing reading a book, or whatever that looks like, you can set that time aside. You can safely say, okay, I've got 10, 15, 20 minutes that I know safely I can connect at this time, because I did the dishes early in the morning and I already had my dinner planned and prepped, so all I had to do was heat it up. That gives me that additional 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes that I can connect with my child. That makes a huge difference in your connection with people. And when your connections are in order relationship-wise in your home, then you're going to start to see connections increase with business, or you're going to start to see things that you have long desired for, goals that you've had. You're going to start to see the light that you can go after these things, because now you've got 2 or 3 hours that you could be working towards those things. And maybe at first it's just writing down the steps that you need to take, but then you can take those steps and then you can begin allocating that time. Okay, this day, I can start planning this. Okay. And you maybe one day for an hour, you write down what your action plan is. And then you can say, okay, this first step that I need to take, I've got an hour tomorrow. Now I can do that. And you just keep going slow and steady. It doesn't matter how quickly you get to your goal or your end result, as long as you keep going and you keep working at it. And it may take some time, but just embrace the season that you're in and the fact that you're transitioning. And if you have to take care of your children, that's still your first place that you should be, and that's okay. But the important thing is you're learning how to balance your schedule when you're growing your family. You're learning how to increase yourself a little bit. You're actually being entrusted with more and promoted to more. But sometimes it just takes time to figure out what that rhythm is. So I'm just encouraging you, allow yourself to feel out your rhythm. Your body will begin to tell you what that looks like. Take some time to really at first build that foundation, to really think things through, really pray about them, really reinforce those things. And then as your day continues to go, you'll have a better idea. Okay, I think that this is my next step that I need to take. This is my next step. And pretty soon things begin to fall into place, and you see that not only that you have rhythm, but that now you have a steady flow and progression to your day and then to your week, and it'll continue to flow through. And when things are order in your home, you'll see everything else in your life come to order, and you'll begin to see how your family's flourishing because you're still present for the spouse or the partner. You're still present for your children. You're still present to the goals that you want to achieve. You show up, you get things done, you achieve great things in your 2019 year, right? And that's our goal this year, to accomplish some great things that we haven't yet accomplished, or to continue to go after goals that we worked in 2018, and now we're going into that 2019. So I hope that this encouraged you and it helped you in some sort of way. If you have any questions, want to stay in contact, you can private message me. I'm also going to leave my information in the comment section so that you can connect with me that way too. I am taking some one-on-one clients for coaching, and I am offering free consults at the moment, but it's kind of a first come, first serve basis. So I'll leave my link in the comment section. So just make sure that you click on that and that you fill that out, and we can connect personally there too. If you're just now joining us, go back and watch the replay because it was really awesome, and I think it'll really help, especially you moms. I don't know, I had you on my heart today, and I wanted to make the topic about that. But really, it can apply to anybody. It can apply to single people. It can apply to couples that don't have kids or have fur babies, or whatever that looks like for you. You can basically take what I said today and apply it to any area of your life. So I hope that this helped. I will be back here in my home office on Tuesday at 12:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless you hear otherwise. So just make sure that you stay tuned. Have a great rest of your week and your weekend, and I'll look forward to connecting with you on Tuesday. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.